TNT Sports is live at the Michigan International Speedway to present the NASCAR Busch Series. It's a mostly sunny, hot and humid summer Saturday in the Irish Hills. The championship race is red hot. And today, the Busch regulars face a track full of talent from the Winston Cup Series. Everybody, our TNT race family welcomes you to Michigan. I'm Bill Weber. We've got a full afternoon of NASCAR action for you. First, the Busch race, then final practice from the Winston Cup Series. 6 of the top 8 starters in today's race have a regular ride in the Winston Cup Series and will race tomorrow as well. 5 of those 6 guys have already won a Winston Cup race this season. The top storyline today, 2 very competitive rivals forming one ultra-competitive combination. We begin with that story, and here's Matt Yoakum.
Tony Stewart's won in every division he's ever competed in except sports cars and Busch Grand National. Tony, this is your best shot to get this trophy in your trophy case finally?
I think so. I mean, Dale Jr. and the Chance 2 guys have, definitely given us a great car today, and we got the band 3 Doors Down with us today, so, the thing was really good in happy hour, and, we just got to go out and do what we do today and see what happens.
Tony will roll off 4th on the grid. His best finish in Busch, 2nd on 2 separate occasions. Dave?
Well, Matt, Michael Waltrip started 2nd in this race last year and took home the victory. Michael, can we make it back-to-back wins here at Michigan?
Well, we hope so. Ken Butler and all the folks at Aaron's are sitting at home watching on TV, checking us out. So we're real excited about our opportunity today. The car ran really fast yesterday in practice, and I'm optimistic that we can get the job done.
He starts 8th today. Marty Snyder, who's on the front row?
Awesome young guys, and from veterans like Michael Waltrip to the youth of our front row, the Busch Series is loaded with talent. For youngsters like David Rudiman and Casey Kane, who are on the front row today, it could be the biggest day of their racing career, but their excitement is tempered by a little dose of reality. They also know they have to complete 125 laps if they want to win this race. And as Casey just told me, hey, I know that 8 car of Tony Stewart's going to be fast. If I can hang on his back bumper, I'll have a great day. Bill?
Thanks, Marty. Take a look at the championship standings in the Busch Series. Scott Riggs leads by just 7 over David Green. The top 5 separated by just 99 points. Bobby Hamilton is in 6th. Then it's 150 points back to 10th place, Stacy Compton. 250 miles for the Busch Series today, 400 miles for the Winston Cup Stars tomorrow. Our live TNT flag-to-flag coverage begins at 1:30 Eastern Time with the Discover Card countdown to green. We'll talk to the stars of the sport as they get ready to go racing. You'll hear from Jackman John Bryan. He's the guy that was injured on pit road in the Brickyard 400. Dave will take a look at the new fire suppression system that's in place near the fuel cell of the Winston Cup cars, and we'll look at one of the most critical elements when it comes to winning here at Michigan. Fuel mileage. That's all on the Discover Card countdown to green tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern Time right here on TNT. And remember, if you miss the countdown, you start the race a lap down. Now, here are 3 guys that always finish the race on the lead lap, thanks in large part to a great pit crew that is 180 strong here in Michigan this week. Alan, Wally, and Benny.
Absolutely, Bill. Glad to be here with you this afternoon. It's been a rough couple of days for the folks in Detroit, just down the road from here with the big power blackout. But here at the racetrack, just 70 miles away, never lost power all weekend, and everything is run on schedule. And that's been good news for the 100,000 or so fans that'll pile into this racetrack over the weekend. Benny, you picked up a little racing trash talking or bulletin board material down in the garage area.
Yeah, talking to these guys, Tony Stewart just said this might be his best chance ever to win a NASCAR Busch Series race. Well, he said that in print this week. Some of the other teams read that and said, wait a minute, what are we, chopped liver? We intend to win this race today. So they've really got some other guys to beat, but Tony Stewart is the guy they're trying to beat in the 8 car.
And this racetrack, Wally, you were in this event 1 year ago. It's really a driver's favorite.
It really is. All the drivers love this racetrack because it's so wide. There's so many different lanes. So there's a lot of place to race here. It's a lot of fun. You drive the cars in really deep here. But probably most importantly today is these guys are going to have to make their adjustments to the car. They're going to get really one shot at it because I think there's only going to be a couple of pit stops. So they got to make that adjustment to the first shot because I think the second time they come in, maybe only a gas and go or 2 tires and gas, so they're going to have to make it quick.
We're only about 5 minutes away from the command to start engines, and after what we've seen in the NASCAR Busch Series the last few races, we can't wait to get started and see what unfolds today.
We are here to win. We're here to lap you. We're here to do everything we can to keep you down, put your face in the mud, and keep you there all year long.
Oh, look out. Contact. Oh, around he goes. He's got a 10-foot ego and a 4-foot body. That ain't working too good right now.
Here we go. Here we go. And it's Bliss with the payback.
I don't wreck people, but like I said, you're definitely with a different lower class of
Brian Vickers finally clears Shane Meal with 20 laps to go. It's going to become a first-time
Busch Series winner. NASCAR Busch Series racing from Michigan International Speedway is brought to you by Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner. Burn fat, crush cravings, and supercharge your energy. Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. Aaron's Furniture, Electronics, Appliances, and Computers at the guaranteed lowest price. And Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. 43 drivers set to spread out over the Michigan International Speedway for some high-speed NASCAR competition. First, we go trackside.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our invocation from St. John's, Michigan, here's Pastor Robert Detmer.
O Lord, we pause this afternoon to ask your divine blessing upon this gathering. We thank you for the beautiful day that you provided for us. We are so privileged to live in this great United States of America, one nation under God, where we're free to come together for such an event as this. Father, we pause to invoke your blessing upon this race, asking your protection upon all drivers, crew members, officials, and spectators. This we pray in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
And now for our national anthem, once again, Elizabeth Fornell.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Elizabeth Fornell. And how about that flyover, ladies and gentlemen? 3 of our T-34s, accompanied by a B-17 bomber from the Yankee Air Force. And now, to begin with the most famous words in motorsports, here once again our Grand Marshal, Mr. Dick Cabela.
Thank you. Now we're going to do this. I'd like to, on behalf of our 7,000 to 8,000 employees and our millions of customers worldwide, I'd like to thank you all for joining us here today for the Cabela's 250. And now, drivers, start your engines.
A great speedway, a star-studded field, and a tight race for the championship. It's going to be a good afternoon. The green flag for Michigan is next on TNT. It's the NASCAR Busch Series on TNT, live from the 2-mile Michigan International Speedway. Race 23 of the 2003 season about to get underway. Cars rolling off the pit lane and out onto the track. Let's take a look at how they'll start today. Couple of youngsters on the front row. Casey Kane, his first NASCAR Busch Series pole, 23-year-old, speeding to the top spot in qualifying with David Ruderman in just his 7th Busch Series start on the outside of row 1.
And then starts the ambushers, the guys from Westercutt, Casey Mears, Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, and Matt Kenseth back in row 3.
And Winston Cup guys continue in row 4. Greg Biffle defending race winner Michael Waltrip there. And the guys who dueled for the win at Indianapolis 2 weeks ago on TNT, Brian Vickers and Shane Neal in row 5.
One of the best races we've seen this year in the NASCAR Busch Series at IRP 2 weeks ago.
Boy, it was great, too. Championship contenders.
Scott Riggs back in row 7 on the inside. David Green back in row 8. Right behind him, only 7 points behind.
And Jason Keller, the third place man in the championship there in row 9. How about Joe Nemechek and Jeff Burton, a couple Winston Cup guys way deep in the field.
And Justin Labonte is back.
Dave Blaney back in row 12 with Terry's son, Justin. Stacy Compton, Scott Wimmer, Johnny Sauter, all Busch Series contenders, but all struggling a little bit in qualifying.
And Damon Lusk in the car that Wally drove last year. Jimmy McMurray on the inside of row 16.
Farthest back of the Winston Cup drivers. John Hayden got the last spot on time. Now back to provisional land. Coy Gibbs. Justin Ashburn, a late driver substitution in that 22 car. Driver from the Nashville area of Tennessee, going to be in the race today. And Jimmy Kitchens, Hueytown, Alabama, will bring up the last spot in the field. 2 laps to go here before we get the green flag. 4 drivers failed to qualify. You see Ashburn originally not supposed to be in the race. And now the people moving to the back with the exception of Ashburn. Chad Blunt with an engine change. Vern Slaw missed the driver's meeting, and also Tammy Jo Kirk with an engine change.
Let's try, see if we can get a hold of Brian Vickers. Hey, Brian, this is Wally up in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, 10-4.
All right, man, this is your first time to Michigan. Can you make it 2 in a row?
I hope so. That's the plan. The GMAC Chevrolet was running really well yesterday in practice, and looking forward to a good day. It's my first time here, but it looks like a really fun racetrack.
It is a fun racetrack. You're going to have a blast today. Good luck out there.
Thank you so much. Y'all have fun watching the race. Hopefully we can make it exciting for you.
Boy, we're hoping he can too, don't we?
19-year-old Brian Vickers, Thomasville, North Carolina, picked up his first Busch Series win in their last race 2 weeks ago today at Indianapolis Raceway Park. All right, let's get some stories from pit road before we go green. How about it, Dave?
Well, Alan, you guys mentioned the race of the championship in the Busch Series being very tight. 5 guys within 100 points of each other. Scott Riggs leads this championship. He is only 7 points ahead of David Green at this point. Car very good for him this weekend. Pretty happy with the way it's been handling. As for David Green, they are trying to win this championship so bad they've gone so far as to change motor suppliers for this race only. They have a Dale Earnhardt Incorporated motor underneath the hood of the 37. Matt?
Dave, Bobby Hamilton Jr. enters Michigan looking for a little change in luck. The once championship contender has lost 151 points for the past 2 races, so now he's just hunting race wins. They debuted a brand new race car here this weekend, qualified 16th in the final practice session on Friday night. He ran on the bottom, he ran in the middle, and he ran up high. The car very fast and very consistent in all 3 lanes. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, unlike the gentleman we just talked about, Kevin Harvick had the advantage of Winston Cup practice this morning, and based on that, he said, you know what, that Busch Series car is going to be way too tight on the racetrack. So on the line here, just a few moments ago, his team made air pressure adjustments in all 4 tires, trying to loosen up his car because he was here this morning, knows the track's going to be very slick. And Kevin also said, sun for him is bad, clouds are much better. Alan?
He's got a mixture of both right now as we're a lap away from going green. About some things that will follow along for you as we go throughout the day today. Some storylines for today's 250-miler. Well, first we have troubles for Ashton Lewis. What's up, Dave?
Well, and their bad luck just seems to chase them everywhere they go, guys. Carburetor problems. Ashton is telling the team it was sticking, he said, or stumbling, you might say. And right now they think they might just even have to go in and change that.
Oh, man.
Not good.
Not good.
All right. Now, how about those storylines we were talking about?
Championship Fab 5. Who will leave Michigan with the championship lead?
Top 5 drivers, all 99 points together at the top of the standings. Yeah, Matt Kenseth is in this race today.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, well, obviously these guys get their push deals done, you know, like the year prior. So they're going to go out and have some fun, make a little extra money. But when you're leading the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship, there's a risk you get hurt in a Busch race, and man, that, you know, that's a big risk, BP.
I asked John Reiser about that this morning. I said, do they talk about, Matt and Robbie, do they talk about the risk involved? He said they never mentioned. That's for me to worry about. It worries me to death.
John Robbie's dad, who owns the race team, the Busch car. And, of course, the pit strategy.
That's what you're talking about, Wally, because these guys, some of them may try to run 100 laps, maybe no tires or just 2 tires.
Dale Jr. on top of the pit box for the Chance 2 car. That's Dave Charpentier, one of the DEI engineers, to his right, and Kevin Mannion, the crew chief for that car, was to Dale Jr.'s left.
Interesting to watch that 8 car the first few laps, because this morning they were very, very concerned in that 8 pit. Concerned about the scales. Is the car set up properly?
Greg Biffle has dropped to the rear of the field in the 7 car, and I'm not sure why, because he had a crash, but it was in practice before qualifying. We'll see if we can get a follow-up from NASCAR.
Flag, green flag.
Green flag right away, way up high. There's a penalty coming there for Jamie McMurray. Can't pass before the start-finish line on the initial start of the race. He got about, what, 10 cars there?
Yep, he's got 10 cars. He's going to be making a visit to pit lane.
Yes, he is. 4 wide for second place, and third, Kevin Harvick quickly on the move. Casey Kane leads. David Ruderman in the 88, Kevin Harvick in the 21 for second, and here comes Tony Stewart in the 8.
And Matt Kenseth, the blue car on the bottom of the racetrack, time to follow Tony Stewart. And as planned, the 1 car gets the black flag.
Check this out on the initial. Well, first, here's the lead. Kevin Harvick under Casey Kane for the top spot in turn 2.
Not quite.
And Tony Stewart, here he comes on the inside of Harvick. I talked to Butch Hilton this morning in the 21 car. He said, I think that we're really good on long runs, but we might not have enough speed for the 8 car at the very start of a run.
Well, I hate to see him on a long run then.
Here for the lead, Tony Stewart. He's got it.
Took 2 laps. But Casey may not be done yet on the outside. He's got him there. So Tony Stewart leads. Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane racing for second and third. Matt Kenseth is fourth. And David Ruderman hanging in 5th position. Jamie McMurray on pit road for his stop-and-go penalty for jumping the start. Dave?
And they were discussing just the confusion in the rule on a restart, Alan. I believe the rule is that you can pass to the outside, but on the initial start of the race, you can't do that.
You are correct. On the initial start of the race, you have to cross the start-finish line in line before you can make any moves.
But boy, when it's open, I did that one time, BP. Here, watch the 1 car up top of the screen. He sees all this room. Flag drops. He's going to get a bunch of them. I did this at Vegas one time, and I forgot about that. You only do that on a restart.
2, 4, 6. Got 6 of them before the start-finish line and a few more after.
I think he understands the rule now probably a lot better than he did.
I never did that again. I got black flag.
By the way, the follow-up on Greg Biffle. Apparently, they changed engines on that car after happy hour last night. His car was not among those NASCAR reported at the start of the race as having to drop to the back of the field. So apparently just a little miscommunication there.
Never see Brian Vickers in the 5 car. About to lose a spot to Chad Blunt in the 19.
That's Casey Mears in the 19.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the car Chad drove at the beginning of the season.
Scott Riggs in the 10 car.
Let's see, that's all for 7th, 8th, and 9th there. Championship leader Riggs in the 10, moving up. Boy, his name's been in the rumor mill a lot lately, hasn't it? On the Winston Cup side of the fence. Oh, trouble. Greg Biffle. Caution's out.
We sure did mess up their signs in the grass, didn't he? At least he didn't get stuck or hasn't yet.
Here from second to third.
He messed up his left front fender.
The left front air down a little bit, man, to be pulled out.
This has not been a good track for Biffle once he left the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He was 2 for 2, ran 2 races, won 2 races here in the trucks. After that, he's finished poorly every time he's been here.
Let's see if we can see what happens here. He just broke loose all by himself.
Tires all look up.
Yeah, you're right. The sign painters are going to be working overtime tonight out there in the grass.
On board with Joey Clanton. He just backs off a little bit. Thank you for getting out of the way. This was a backup car that he just spun coming off turn 4 because of this in practice. And watch this. Lots of damage to the rear of this car. I saw that car after, and they cut the entire back end off the car.
So under caution for the first time in the Cabela's 250 for the NASCAR Busch Series at Michigan, Tony Stewart quickly out into the lead. How about our Stacker 2 NASCAR Busch Series race facts? 21 lead changes in last year's running of this race was the most in any 2002 NASCAR Busch Series event. Remember it well, Michael Waltrip, Todd Bodine, Jamie McMurray, Jeff Burton all swapping around the top spot, and then Waltrip got away after he and Todd Bodine clanged off each other in the closing laps.
Tony's going to have to ease up. Tony Stewart and the 8 car is going to have to ease up if we have 21 lead changes today.
Yeah. Well, Junior's car is doing pretty well with Tony Stewart behind the wheel. Matt?
He sure is. Dale Earnhardt Jr., you're having fun up here, aren't you?
Yeah, it's nice when you got such a good car. Tony's doing a great job, and definitely got a fast car. Just trying to make the least amount of mistakes as we can on pit road, and Tony keeps the fenders on it. But we got a fast car, just got to be smart.
You guys have had some fun, though, ribbing each other the whole weekend.
Yeah, it's always fun with Tony. He's a great guy, great friend. I was going to really enjoy this, being on top of the box here, telling him everything he's doing wrong today. But tomorrow we're competitors again, and that's great that we can differentiate between the two, you know, being friends and being competitors. And he's a class act, so enjoy having him in my car.
Now, I understand he gave you a special gift.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of giving here lately. He's donating half of the winnings to charity, and selling his helmet and his driver's suit to charity, and also give me one of the driver's suit and helmets that he's used this weekend. So I really appreciate it. You know, I'll take care of it. And hopefully we can do more stuff like this. This is what I really intended with this Busch team. We're going to bring Martin Truex up through the ranks, and hopefully do some more fun stuff on the side like this. But say hello to Martin back home, and hope he's looking forward to next weekend at Bristol.
3 doors down, autographed the helmet. Tony Stewart autographed the helmet, gave it to Dale Jr. A little special presentation. Guys?
There's the virtual restart line. Ignore that dotted line that's painted on the racetrack.
Green flag.
For Winston Cup and Busch Series racing here, that line has no application.
Now, what Jamie McMurray did at the start is legal now. If he's in the very back, he could move out and pass on the outside if he found some room.
But normally on the restart, they don't give you any room. Everybody's
know
right
that.
up against the wall.
That's right. They know that, so you can't find any room.
Tony Stewart leads, Casey Kane is second, Kevin Harvick third, Matt Kenseth fourth, and Michael Waltrip fifth. And you've got David Rudiman, Casey Mears, Scott Riggs, Brian Vickers, and David Green rounding out the top 10. Car on the inside there is Ashton Lewis. Remember, he was on pit road on the pace laps. He lost 3 laps getting those carburetor repairs made before rejoining the race. Harvick's trying for second.
He's having trouble trying to get by Casey Kane. Here comes Matt Kenseth in the 17, trying to get by Harvick.
Matt started in 6th position. That's what you gotta love about this racetrack. There's about 5 or 6 different lanes you can run, and they're all fast.
Yeah, it really is. It's a fun racetrack, and the draft really comes into play here too. If you got a guy coming side by side off the corner, and you get somebody to come up on your bumper, it's going to help push you past the guy you're racing with.
Now on that caution flag, none of the leaders pitted, but a lot of the guys at the back end of the field came in and topped off the fuel. Joe Nemechek, Justin Labonte, Chad Blunt came in, Stacy Compton, Jamie McMurray topped off the fuel. Coy Gibbs. Hey, the most notable of the drivers who topped off the fuel was Ron Hornaday, 4th place guy in the championship. Gave up 16th place. He came out with 30th.
Ooh. Boy, Scott Riggs was thinking about trying to get up there, but but he was not clear.
Dave, what possessed Hornaday to make a pit stop?
VP, they talked about it before the race. Car owner Richard Childress talked with Ricky Byers, the crew chief, and they said, if you guys aren't good on the first yellow flag, come on in and change that. They were very, very tight. They took some wedge out. They raised the track bar. They were very tight in the center of the corner and getting off the corner, so they made those changes.
Well, I guess, and he had fallen back. He'd gone from his starting position, had gone backwards, so might as well stop, try to get it fixed.
Casey Mears in 7th in that white car, the 19. Heading up this pretty good little fight for a spot. David Green joining in the green car, 37. Makes sense. Driver named Green would have a green car.
Battle for the 3rd position. It's like Michael Waltrip, last year's winners, trying to take it, and does.
See both Michael and Matt Kenseth who've gotten by Kevin Harvick. And there's the gap back to the next race. David Ruderman in the red and yellow car there. Running in 6th position. Working his way around Ashton Lewis's lap car.
And it really is amazing how many grooves there is through the corner here.
You can see it right there.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you see the splashes of sunlight the drivers are racing through now. The cloud covers come over this racetrack in a big way. It was bathed in sunlight when the race started. Now it's bathed in clouds. Track temperature's cooling off.
And the handling will change if those clouds stay out.
Scott Riggs by Casey Mears for 7th place. The yellow car moving forward. I talked with Scott in the garage area yesterday about all the rumors and where things are at as far as what he's going to be doing in the future. He said, you know, at my age, I'm 32 years old. With the way everybody's focused on kids, young guys coming into Winston Cup, I'm probably only going to get one good shot at succeeding in Winston Cup. So I've got to make sure whatever I might choose to do, if I move from this very good race team I'm with now, it's got to be a good opportunity that I can succeed with.
That's real smart, because you know, you're not going to carry a race team that's not competitive. And especially when you go to Winston Cup, there's a lot of new things that you have to learn, and it's tough over there. So, yep, he's going to get one shot at it. He wants to be with the best race team he can be with.
Tony Stewart is out in front. He's opened up a 2.1 second lead on Casey Kane after taking the lead at lap number 2. Watching NASCAR on TNT. On the Wendy's race menu, coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup final practice for tomorrow's race, coming up right after the conclusion of today's Busch Series event here on TNT. And tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern Time, we get started with our coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series 400-miler, beginning with Discover Card Countdown to Green. It's all Tony Stewart so far here at Michigan International Speedway today. Started on the outside of row number 2, took the lead at the conclusion of lap 1, and has pulled away to a 3-second advantage over Casey Kane. Here's the race for 3rd. This is the best one on the track among the leaders for the moment.
And this is not too bad. Michael Waltrip in 99. And we see the 12 car of Tim Fedewa slowing down as Joe Nemechek, after making a pit stop, the last caution flag goes by.
If you look carefully at the left front fender of that 12 car, you'll see it's pushed in on the tire, and here's why.
Ashton Lewis checked up. Tim Fedewa didn't get checked up quick enough.
Matt, they keep an eye on it?
Well, the whole Michigan native told his team, he says, I really don't see any smoke, but I messed it up pretty good when I bumped into the 46. That's what he said back on lap 18, but they're going to keep an eye on it, Benny.
Okay, clear low.
Oh, man. Well, that's
smoking there.
So Fedewa running back in 23rd position now, having just lost a spot to Joe Nemechek.
He must have took all the rubber off of that shot.
There's nothing too bad there.
19 and 25, Casey Mears, Bobby Hamilton Jr., 10th and 11th places. Give that one to the Marines.
And Jeff Burton, that dark car right behind Casey Mears. The 9 car of Jeff Burton started in 21st. Last time by was 12th. But 10th is right in front of him.
Burton, the 98 winner of this race. Only been out in his NASCAR Busch Series car 2 previous times this season.
And that is the sponsor on this car, Roush Performance Parts, this weekend.
Jack Roush's home base of industries in Livonia, Michigan, just outside of Detroit, not far from here.
See that high line that Jeff Burton took, and Casey Mears was on the bottom. Look at how much ground he made up on him there.
I think Casey Mears' spotter said you ought to try the top.
Yeah, because you can't come off the corner. If you're down low, it's actually quicker until you're coming off the corner. Then it just seems like you bind the car up so much, it just kills the motor. When the guys up top, they're wound up, and they get a lot more straightaway speed out of the car.
Well, I'll tell you what, that 10 car is rolling forward, isn't it? Scott Riggs trying to take a spot away from Kevin Harvick here. That's 5th place. How about it, Marty?
Harvick pretty happy with the car. He came on the radio, and they remember thought they would be way too tight. They made the air pressure adjustment on pit road, and he came on the radio and said, hey guys, it's loose, just like we wanted. But guess what? Now it's too tight. We see this racetrack get tighter and tighter the longer we run. David?
Marty, I guess everything's relative in racing because Scott's not real happy with his car, yet he's moving up. The car a little tight on his first report, center and off the corner. And just a little while ago, he radioed into his guys, tighter and tighter. Alan?
You see the sun's come out again.
Yes.
Track temperature shooting back up.
And I tell you what, when that sun came out, these drivers looked like they moved 5 feet higher on the racetrack than they had been running. Trying to find some grip.
And there's a lot of talk probably going back and forth now with these drivers to their crew chiefs, because the crew chiefs trying to get the best handle they can when they make that stop to make the best adjustment, because you got to hit it right or you got to ride it out. And boy, you can lose a lot of time here in Michigan if your car's off a little bit.
Here's 7th and 8th place, David Ruderman in the 88, Brian Vickers in the 5. How about it, Matty?
A great weekend so far for David Ruderman. Qualified on the outside pole his first trip here to Michigan, but he has faded all the way down to 7th. The car is still loose up off the corner. It's not tightened up at all. Brian Patty told him, just hang in there. This track will get tighter as we go. Brian Patty told me this morning they are hoping to solidify a sponsor so that they can run for the championship next year with David. And the car number they're going to run is the number from his legendary father's old modified, 00, Buzzy Ruderman.
Well, Buzzy, your boy's about to lose a spot. Well, maybe not. Brian Vickers in 5, trying to get by David.
And in case you're wondering, the connection between the Nemechek team and David Ruderman. David is from Zephyr Hills, Florida. The Nemecheks, of course, from Lakeland, Florida. And Brian Patty, the team manager for Joe Nemechek's Busch Series operation, also from that Central Florida area. So all these guys knew each other back to short track days before they hit the big time. Want to add to that, Matt?
Well, Brian Patty told me one time that he met the Ruderman family when he was in the 7th grade. They taught him everything he knows about racing, and now trying to help pay back the Ruderman family by helping David along, and that's why he feels like they've got a great young talent in David Ruderman, and he wants to showcase that next year going full time.
David in his 7th Busch Series start this season, 11th overall. I think I said 7th overall earlier, but I was just kind of rushing through.
David's losing a lot of time up there from the middle of 3 and 4 to the exit of 4. And that's where Brian Vickers is really making up a lot of time on it.
So 29 laps about to be completed by the man driving that car, Tony Stewart. He's led all but one of them so far.
TNT Sports is live at the Michigan International Speedway for NASCAR Busch Series Racing. And one story so far, the 8 car of Tony Stewart, driving for Chance 2 Motorsports and Dale Earnhardt Jr., roaring to the front early and setting up blistering pace. Stewart making his first run in the Busch Series in a number number of years and doing very well at it. Now, that's one of many Winston Cup stars in this field. We've got another one here with us on the pit cruiser in the infield. We're joined by Kurt Busch, who went to victory lane here in the Winston Cup race in June. Thanks for coming by. It's loud out here, isn't it?
It sure is, but that's why the infield is so great to be, just to hang out and watch a race. I mean, loud, it's great. You've got a good view.
I thought that 8 bunch said they were just running for fun.
I'd hate to see if they got serious.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
He looks good. Smoke's doing a good job. He can go high, go low. And it's just a matter of keeping track of the racetrack. And if he's got that good of a car, he should be the car to beat today.
That's third place we're watching on the track, Bill. Matt Kenseth tried to get it away from Casey Kane, but not successful that time.
When you see a guy out there like that, Kurt, and you're trying to chase him down, what are you thinking?
You've got to keep track of your car and what your car's doing on the racetrack. You can't get too far ahead of yourself. Focus on not slipping a tire. You know there's going to be more times of getting in the pits. It's way too early to start thinking about stretching your own situation.
Now, you won here in June. You start 21st tomorrow, but you were third in final practice.
Yeah, we weren't bad in practice. Our car has always been one that shows strength at the beginning of a run, whereas Michigan usually plays out who has the better car in a longer run. So we worked on that. I think we're better than what we were here when we won the race in the spring. So hopefully it'll be a good indication.
How about your fuel mileage here, Kurt?
It's extraordinarily good. That's key. You got to have a big fuel cell and a nice carburetor.
Okay, Alan, we'll watch a few laps down here, and you can just update us on what's going on out there.
We'll watch a few laps up here.
Big water cars going down at turn 1.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 25, racing David Rudiman and David Green in 88 and 37. That's for 8th, 9th, and 10th. They got some lap traffic mixed in among them there.
Looks like the 5 car, Brian Vickers, was able to get by these fellas. Vickers is currently in the 7th position.
There's Brian, most recent winner in the NASCAR Busch Series. Tell you, Hamilton Jr., he's not been on a rocket ship to the front, but he started 16th, and he's picked his way up to 8th, so he's halfway there.
But the ground is going to get a lot harder to plow for these next few positions, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Brian's running that lower line. Most of these guys running up top already. A few cars like Brian Vickers staying down on the bottom. Looks like Matt Kenseth is trying to work the bottom as well.
And here come the clouds again. Hey, Kurt, cloud, sun, that's got to be giving these drivers and their crew chiefs fits, huh?
It is mainly, though, your car, if it has a handling characteristic like Rudiman, it's going to probably benefit him a little bit to get fight coming up off the corner. But most cars are always tight here. You've got to make sure that you don't abuse that right front tire. And with cloud cover, that'll drop the track temp a little bit, and that'll aid that problem, but you're still going to end up being tight.
How are you going to pass all those guys tomorrow coming up from 21st?
Well, the thing you see with a Busch car versus a Cup car is many guys prefer the high line with a Busch car. Keep that momentum built up top. You don't have as much horsepower. With the Cup cars, you have that horsepower. I like to go to the bottom here and run and pass some cars, and then once you get strung out, then you utilize the top not to burn up your tires.
Now, Tony Stewart's out there not only running and racing, but maybe learning a few things for tomorrow, you think?
He's out there making sure that he's got that A car going pretty good and giving it a good run. And, you know, he's putting down the laps that he needs to right now. And if he's got a challenger that comes up, he'll probably just step it up. There's things that'll translate back and forth. I'm pretty sure. I've never run a Busch car to know. But, you know, he's getting track time out there today. The biggest difference between June and August when we come to Michigan is August is much slicker out there.
Hey, Kurt, do you have any aspirations to run some of these Busch races?
There's that possibility. You know, my little brother, he's really jumped into the series and done real well right off the bat. It would be fun to race against him, but, you know, the overall scheme of things went from truck to cup. I feel pretty proud of that move that I made going from that series to this one. And just not having that opportunity to run there, it's just putting sponsors together. I know Jack Roush's got many cars, but it just really hasn't intrigued me all that much to go and run the deal. It just seems like I've got enough on my plate with the Winston Cup program and as Rubbermaid as our sponsor.
Hey, Kurt, did you ever think about maybe owning a team and hiring me as your driver?
That wouldn't be too bad, Wally. You keep asking me about the Daytona 24-hour race, maybe we can work a deal.
Okay.
You don't want to go out there and beat up on your little brother on the racetrack?
It would be fun, wouldn't it? I never really thought of it that way, beating up on him. Just showing him maybe a lane or two that he could drive that follow me around a little bit.
But would you give him a lap back? That's what I want to know.
Oh, that would be tough. It would be tough. I'd most likely be in a Ford, and he's going to have to wear that bow tie.
Watching David Green here make a move on David Rudiman for 9th and 10th places. So the top guys in the championship mostly faring pretty well here in these opening laps.
Don't look now. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but you know what? Second, third place cars are running faster than the leader.
Funny you should mention that.
They're gaining on Tony Stewart, getting closer and closer. Talking about Michael Waltrip and also the 38 car, Casey Kane. Matt, is Tony saying anything in the 8 car?
BP about 6 laps ago, Kevin Bono-Manuel was reading off the lap times to Tony, and he was about 3/10 off Michael Waltrip's time. And next time by, that was cut in half. He's about a 1/10 to a 1/10.5 slower than Michael Waltrip's time, but that's basically because Tony has picked up a push from center off the corner. They're going to work on that on their first pit stop, which should be in about 8 to 9 laps.
And check this out, Hornaday, one of the points contenders, about to go a lap down to Tony Stewart.
Yeah. Ron Hornaday, 4th position, just 58 points off the leader Scott Riggs in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship. He's going to be a lap down, not even halfway into this thing. And he's already made 1 pit stop.
And changed tires and made adjustments. Bill?
Yeah, Benny, I was just going to ask Kurt, you got to keep up with the leader here, don't you? You're going to lose some track position in a hurry.
It'll add up quickly. That's what happened to Hornaday. He had a new handling car, tried to come in and make adjustments to it. But since you started so far back on the restart, you've got all that dirty air in front of you. There's no way to make up time unless you got your car right after that pit stop. So he starts restarting. He's walking away in the middle of 3 and 4 when Tony Stewart's at the start-finish line. He's already a quarter lap behind. So it adds up quick in Michigan. When your car's on like Tony Stewart has, he just keeps going and digging. If your car's off, it adds up that much quicker.
Hey, thanks for coming by. Good luck tomorrow.
You got it, guys.
That's Kurt Busch. He's looking for the Winston Cup Michigan sweep this season. Tony Stewart continues to lead. Our live TNT race coverage continues in a moment.
Caution is out here at Michigan International Speedway.
Jamie Mosley, the 39 car out of London, Kentucky, has spun off turn 2. And all those guys that has made pit stops, sorry.
And while you were away in the break, a couple of front-running cars did come onto pit road. Casey Kane came in for service. Also Jeff Burton, Jason Keller, and Scott Wimmer. Those cars had been on pit road under the green flag for service and then mostly spun and brought out the caution flag.
So Tony Stewart, the 8 car, the leader, comes by, takes the caution flag.
Let's see if we can, well, I don't know which one he is. This one right here?
Nope. Nope, wrong answer.
He just lost it, didn't he? Looks like he just got loose coming off the corner and just barely backed it in the fence.
Mostly running on a track bigger than 1.5 miles for the first time in his racing career.
Talked to Jamie this morning down in the pit area. And talking to him, you can obviously tell he's from Kentucky.
Now, 46 laps. So we're going to see everybody on the pit road at 47. And that's going to set them up for not needing a full load of fuel.
Right. So
they'll be close.
You know, I think that Tony backed off early enough that the 38 car, Casey Kane, got his lap back. It's what it's looking like.
Sure does.
Wow, that'd be a huge break because he probably won't pit.
Oh, why should he? He was just in.
Yeah, he was just in a few laps ago, so.
But Jason Keller and Jeff Burton did get caught a lap down, so if they don't pit, they'll be they won't be tail end of the lead lap if Kane stays out. Here they come. Stewart, Waltrip, Kenseth, Riggs, Harvick. As you check out where the cars come to their pit stalls. Dave?
And Scott Riggs doesn't want much of an adjustment at all. He said, guys, we have a pretty good hot rod. They're going to take just a little air pressure out of each front tire for Scott. Change 4, fill it with fuel. Marty?
Matt Kenseth started 6, running second right now, Dave. 2 tight at the end of that run, but he started loose. 1/2 pound out of the right front, 1/2 pound out of both left sides. That should loosen up that 17 car. Matty?
And Tony Stewart's left side tires trying to pull those off. The jack going up very slow. He came in the leader. He's not going to lead the leader. They're going to go for a 2-tire. They made an air pressure adjustment in that right rear. They were talking about also a wedge, but they didn't do it.
And Tony Stewart we'll find out how good that 8 car is in traffic, because he's going to be about 4th or 5th when they restart this thing.
Matt Kenseth first off pit lane. Then Riggs, then Harvick, then Stewart, and Brian Vickers. Here's Michael Waltrip. He lost a few spots on the exchange of pit stops as well. Second caution is out in the Cabela's 250 at Michigan. Follow this weekend's racing action live online with NASCAR.com's Track Pass. Free 14-day trial. Log on to NASCAR.com. Find out more. Here's how they came to the scoring line at the exit of pit road. And they came in a big charge.
So you see Matt Kenseth. Wait.
Now here we go.
There's Scott Riggs, Kevin Harvick. Stewart.
Looking for Michael Waltrip still. He was second when the caution came out. Hello, Mikey.
Mikey's still back in Never Never Land.
He's out in 7th place. So Matt Kenseth goes to the point as we check our pitch summary.
And Matt Kenseth is the 3rd car in line. You see the blue car. Jeff Burton and Jason Keller had stopped on the green. They're on the tail end of the lead lap. They've stayed out, hoping they stay in front of the leader and get a quick caution flag to make up that 2-mile distance.
Stay ready, green.
Mike Kalanoff, Matt Kenseth's spotter. Scott Wimmer there, also trying to get in front of the leader and get himself back on the tail end of the lead lap, which he's done so far.
Here comes Kenseth. He's on the inside. He's gone by Keller. Put him a lap down, trying to put Wimmer a lap down. Tony Stewart going the inside of Harvick. Dave, what's Wimmer doing a lap down? Unscheduled pit stop?
They were on pit road when that caution came out, Benny. They were in the middle of their pit stop. They put on just 2 tires, aborted the rest of the pit stop, and then came back under caution because they lost that lap.
Look at Stewart there. Spoken by Kevin Harvick.
Trying to get by him anyway.
Didn't finish the job.
Didn't make it.
Whoa, is that Riggs way up the bank?
Yep.
He lost a couple spots there. In that 10.06 car, Justin Labonte, 1 lap down, 29th place. What's up with the 10, Dave?
Alan, he just radioed into his guys. Guys, I got aero loose. That's all that happened. They said, hang on to it, work your way back up.
Michael Waltrip in 99 trying to work his way to the front. Currently in 5th position, trying to take over 4th.
No, Mikey, hang on. Speaking of loose, Mike cost him a spot. David Green going to try and go by Michael.
And does, and Riggs is going to try the same thing. And Scott in the 10 car.
Tell you what, you lose that momentum. It takes a bit to get it back. And with a hungry pack of wolves chasing around you, you don't often get that minute. Talk about Scott Riggs. Up in turns 1 and 2 there a couple laps ago when he went chasing up the hill and got aero loose, as he reported to the crew.
There you see him right there in the middle, and see the car get loose. I don't really think Vickers was close enough to help him get loose. I think the 10 car just got loose by himself there.
That was really weird looking thing. Like he lost the front, just picked up and set over, and he had to turn it so quickly that he got loose. Weird looking.
So Riggs running back in 7th now, just behind Michael Waltrip in 6th. And Scott Wimmer, the lap car in the middle, is 1 lap down in 26th place in the 23.
This is Scott Wimmer as he tries to follow Michael Waltrip. Wimmer is currently in 29th position.
You try to follow Michael Waltrip around Michigan, you're going to have to run out near that wall.
And we heard Scott have to get off the throttle when he got a little bit too close to the wall.
How about 4th place? David Green, 37. Brian Vickers, 5.
Just squeezed by Jamie Mosley in the 39 car.
Two of the contenders for the NASCAR Busch Series Championship. David Green in second place, just 7 points behind Scott Riggs. Brian Vickers in fifth, but only 99 points out of the lead. And again, this is for fourth and fifth positions. Tell you what, after what we've seen from Brian Vickers in the last year and a half, not hard to imagine that his trip to victory lane at Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago is going to be the last.
Oh, no, he's going to win some races. And only 19 years old. Folks, a kid in the 5 car, 19 years old. So definitely star of the future in the stock car racing world.
That didn't come out right, but you knew what I was trying to say. We're going to see him in a bunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Casey Mears in the target car, the 19. Right, here's Kevin Harvick in the 21 in the second position. Trying to
whoa, baby.
That's loose.
Tony Stewart squeezes by Jeff Burton as we ride along with Burton, a lap down. Back in the 26th position. He goes to the top, Harvick in the middle, and Stewart on the bottom.
Wow, he is really loose. Kevin Harvick is really loose in that 21 car right now.
Yeah, Butch Hilton, the crew chief on the 21. Memo to Butch. Fix 21 car. Tighten it up next pit stop.
Yeah, but you know, like Wally said at the top of the show, you made your big pit stop already. The next one might just be a 2-tire job. It's going to be tough to fix it then.
He could be in trouble.
Yeah, you can't spend a lot of time on this next pit stop because everybody else is going to spend very little time. Hey, Marty, what's going on with 21?
You're exactly right. That's what Butch Hilton said this morning. He said on that first stop, I've got to go big or I'm not going to win the race. So they made a lot of adjustments on Kevin Harvick's car. His car was way too tight the last time, so they pulled a rubber out of the left rear. They added a rubber to the left front of that car, and they did a lot of things, air pressure, track bar as well, trying to do everything they can to win this race. Doesn't help sit there with a tight race car knowing you can't win the race if you don't adjust on it.
Hey, Marty, they got it loose.
Yeah, I would say they hit it on the loose part, BP.
Yes, they did.
But I guarantee you this, too. It'll get tighter the longer they run.
That's true.
If he can hang on to it that long. You're right. It may be very, very fast towards the end.
Tony Stewart trying to get some separation from Kevin Harvick. He's going to get by him and pick up second spot.
And running behind Tony will tighten his car up a little bit, so it's better to have Tony in front of him instead on his rear bumper, which is going to make the car even more loose.
You see the gap from Matt Kenseth, the blue car, to Tony Stewart, now in second. 9/10 of a second.
It looks like Tony's groove is right in the middle of the racetrack. He's not high, he's not low, he's right in the middle.
Yeah, he's moved it up. He started out way down at the beginning of the race, but you're right, BP, he's right in the center now. But that's one of these racetracks where you'll search. You'll run and you'll run a while a little bit on the bottom and you go, man, this isn't looking good, and that guy just passed me, so I'm going to try up here. That's what's so cool about this racetrack. It's got so many different places to find where your car wants to run fast.
Remember Jeff Burton in the 9, Jason Keller in the 57, got trapped by the caution flag a lap down, did not succeed in getting back on the lead lap. There are 25 cars on the lead lap at the moment.
And right behind this group of cars is Michael Waltrip in the 99 car, who just before the caution flag was the fastest car. Uh-oh. Here comes Tony.
New leader.
There goes Tony.
All right, so we went back to green at lap 50. And it took Tony Stewart 12 laps to get back to the front.
Not good for the rest of it.
No.
Going to be hard to handle. I know Hard to Handle is not one of Three Doors Down's songs, but he's going to be hard to handle.
But what we saw the last time, he was terrific for about 30 laps, and then he started coming back to the field. Might happen again.
Right, and the guy that was really, really quick there at the end was Michael. Michael had his car set up, it looked like, for the longer runs.
So Tony Stewart back out in front of Matt Kenseth with Kevin Harvick, Brian Vickers, and Michael Waltrip rounding out the top 5. From Michigan, you're watching NASCAR on TNT. A bad day just got worse for Jamie Mosley. He brought out the last caution flag with a spin in turn 2 where he just barely tapped the wall. This time, he's backed it in good in turn 3.
He's going to go and check out the damage now. You're not going to like it, Jamie. Oh,
no,
man.
he doesn't.
It's not funny, Jamie.
No, but he is okay, and that's the good news. So we're going to see any pit stops here. 60 laps to go when they come to the opening of pit road right now.
I think the only guys that pit are guys that need to make some big adjustments.
Harvick, you going to pit?
Let's see. Michael Waltrip's creeping along that line. Here they come. Harvick, Waltrip, David Green, Scott Riggs. Let's see. 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 7th came in. How about it, Dave?
Vickers could not make it from here on the 1 stop only, so they wanted to make a stop here. Make no changes, though. The car is very good. Marty?
Oh, boy, the strategy playing out here at Michigan, Dave. The 21 car of Kevin Harvick is going to be barely short. You see Michael Waltrip get off pit road there with his guys kind of follow him. Kevin Harvick is on pit road, 4 tires and no changes except 1/2 pound out of the right rear. It's going to be so close for these guys to make it all the way on fuel. I think they're banking on some caution laps.
I'm wondering if somebody might not think about going the rest of the way on fuel.
I'll bet you the 99 is. And if not, he's betting on just a little splash of fuel and spending less time on pit road if he comes in again than these other guys. Here we go again. Strategy and fuel mileage playing a big role in deciding who might win a NASCAR race. Under caution at Michigan, just past halfway. NASCAR Busch Series racing from Michigan International Speedway is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light. Busch, the proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series. Trim Spa, available completely ephedra-free. Get your high-speed Dream Body Diet Pill today. And Wendy's late-night pickup window where you can eat great, even late.
Now we're packing it with fuel, BP.
Now that tells me
they're going.
They're going to think about making it without stopping again. Right, Marty?
That's right, BP. The 21 car is one of those. Kevin Harvick took 4 tires on that last stop. Butch Hilton, can you make it all the way on fuel, or do you need some caution laps to help you out?
Well, we sure would like to see about 1 or 2 more caution laps. Kevin says he's going to take care of us out there, and we'll see what happens. We were real tight to start the race. We got it actually a little loose right there, so we might have something for him either way, and we're going to play the fuel mileage here for a little while and see what happens.
They need at least 4 caution flag laps. Matty?
And Bobby Kennedy talking to Michael Waltrip on the radio. You came back in and topped off. How close are you, Bobby?
We're about a lap shy, but we're just playing, rolling the dice. If we get a caution on down the road, we can, have track position then. Our clutch is gone, so we're in a bad situation, so we want to stay off pit road as much as possible.
Alan?
All right, so the clutch is out on the Dream Machine, too. Check this out. This was his first pit stop.
And the guy that's going to make a chassis adjustment trips and falls. Now he's trying to make the adjustment, but Michael's leaving. And that was close.
That was real close. But he made it.
Tony Stewart leads, did not pit. Second is Matt Kenseth. Brian Vickers third. Greg Biffle, remember the early spin, back up to 4th. And it is Johnny Slaughter 5th. 6th is Tim Fedewa, Bobby Hamilton Jr. 7th. None of those cars pitted under the caution. Then Kevin Harvick in 8th place, the first one of those who stopped. Michael Waltrip gave up 7th spot after winning the race off pit road. He's out 17th now.
But all he's got to do is ride. Stay out of trouble and ride. All these guys have to come back in.
They've got to stop. They've got to have some fuel to be able to run the entire 250 miles.
Jason Keller, 57. Jeff Burton, 9. Not on the lead lap. Made a green flag pit stop, but caught by a caution flag a little bit earlier in the race.
They just pitted. Jeff Burton, the 9 car, just pitted this last stop and changed tires, so looks like he might be good to go. At least he probably will try.
momentum, buddy, and go.
Keith Barnwell talking to
Jason Keller. I'll tell you what, nice comeback for Biffle here. Did not pit under this caution, got himself some track position back. Is that going to turn out to be a benefit or a hindrance at the end when he has to make his last pit stop?
Now then, the only way Tony Stewart can win the race, Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle, Brian Vickers, there has to be another caution play.
Right, and they have to go down pit road, and all those other guys that already stopped stay out, and they come out behind them and don't have enough laps to get back to the front.
Yeah.
That's what people like Kevin Harvick are counting on working out here.
And there's a lot of cars a lap down, so not only are they going to be back in line, but they're going to have a whole bunch of cars on the inside because they're a lap down, so they've got a lot of cars to pass.
Last time Junior's car, Tony Stewart pitted, was lap 47. So he's got about another 20 to 25 laps before he'll have to come in again.
All of a sudden, something happened to the 9 car, Jeff Burton. He went in the corner, and the 57 drove by, and also the 5 car, Brian Vickers, who's having a very good run, Dave.
Well, Brian Vickers didn't stop that time. I checked with Lance McGrew, his crew chief, and among other things, he couldn't have made it from here. But Lance looked out over his view off the top of the pit box. There's a big cloud out there, Betty, and he says rain is nearer than some people might think.
Oh, the R word, rain. Well, now that's another fine how do you do.
Kevin Harvick just around Bobby Hamilton Jr. for 5th place. You saw him wave there. Now Harvick on the dive for 4th on Brian Vickers. And 3rd on Greg Biffle. And trying to get a bunch of them all at once.
Yeah, he got a good run, and when they get 2 cars, 3 cars side by side going down the straightaway here at Michigan, you get a huge draft off that, and you can really pull out and get that slingshot like you used to do all the time. Man.
Yeah.
3 cars and a half a lap.
And Brian Vickers, his first time here at Michigan, 19 years old, watched Kevin Harvick make that move, and he said, how did he do that? These guys are good.
Whoa, whoa.
Almost pushed up into the side of the 25 car, did Brian Vickers.
I'm not sure Brian knew the 25 was there.
He sure didn't look like it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the spotter warned him he was there.
Again, the 9 car, Jeff Burton, back in 27th place, not on the lead lap. So he's in the middle of these cars, but he's not racing them for position. This is 5th, 6th, and 7th. 25, Hamilton Jr., 5, Vickers, and 7, Biffle. Nothing changed up front. Tony Stewart clear of Matt Kenseth by 1.5 seconds. It's a shame for Jeff Burton. He's obviously got a car very capable of running in the top 10. He just can't get that lap back. Now, 2nd place, Kevin Harvick's charge continues. Whatever was wrong with that car in its last handling run, they fixed on that pit stop.
They look like they have fixed it.
Well, the track has gotten a lot of, there's a lot more shade now than there was, so the track may be coming back.
That's exactly right. It may be the track that's fixed the 21 car.
And Marty, you told us at the beginning the clouds were good for the 21. Sun was bad, right?
That's exactly right. They've worked on it. Remember, they made the big adjustment on the first stop, and on this last stop, they made no changes on the car. The biggest change is overhead for Kevin. The clouds are really playing to his favor. That's really helping his car out, making it very balanced. Remember, before that sun came out, he got way too tight. Now the car really, really good.
The science of these race cars is amazing. You stop and think about all the factors that go into optimizing handling, and temperature's not one you'd put high on the list, but it sure does have something to do with it.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, especially at this racetrack, we said earlier, this track is probably the most sensitive to temperature. Indianapolis is as well, but boy, this racetrack changes so much when the sun is out and when it's cloudy. And these guys have been going at it.
Boy, they have. This is a great battle.
Couple of your top drivers in the championship. Scott Riggs in the 10, David Green in the 37, Brian Vickers in the 5. 3 of the top 5 in the title race. Mixing it up with Greg Biffle there, and this is for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. David Green, Michigan has just not been a good racetrack over the course of his Busch Series career. In 8 NASCAR Busch Series races here, 1 top 10 finish. That's it. Now, this is a guy who's a series champion and a race winner. 1 top 10 finish in 8 tries here.
But maybe today he will change things.
Yep.
Last time by was running in 7th position.
For the report we heard on the last moments before the green flag that this team went to a Dale Earnhardt Incorporated engine for this race weekend. See if that could improve their performance on this very engine-rich track.
You're definitely right. The engine's
gotta have it.
Very important here. Horsepower is your friend at Michigan.
Tony Stewart is out in front. 48 laps to go. What kind of fuel mileage and pit strategy is going to decide this one? Log on to NASCAR.com for information on how to enter the Denny's Dash Sweepstakes. And be sure to tune into NBC on August 30th and watch as Denny's presents the South Carolina 200. NASCAR.com. Find out what it's all about.
Okay, Denny's Dash Sweepstakes. All right.
There you go.
I got it.
Check out over turn 4 there. That's what some of the crew chiefs were looking at on pit road a minute ago.
You think that's rain in there?
I don't know.
Send Marty over there. See if it's raining.
About 10 miles, Marty, over past turn 4.
Hey, VP, I ran there and ran back. It's about 20 miles away, so I ran a marathon just now.
We ought to be okay then.
That's the report from some of the teams down here. The rain about 20 miles away, but they're thinking it may stay to the north of us. So, you know, you got to be a meteorologist and you got to figure out fuel mileage down here.
It's unbelievable. I'll tell you what, more than I can comprehend.
Tony Stewart, the leader by 3.2 seconds over Kevin Harvick. Third place has just changed hands. Bobby Hamilton Jr. around Matt Kenseth. Scott Riggs rounds out your top 5. Let's take a break so we can come back in time for the leaders' pit stops under green.
Back in Brooklyn, Michigan at the Michigan International Speedway. Today's Cabela's 250. Tony Stewart continues to hold station out front, trying to pull off his first ever Busch Series win. His best finished second on 2 separate occasions back in 1998. His crew chief, Kevin Bono Magnus. So what's your strategy going to be, Kevin? When are you going to pit?
Well, the rain looks like it's about when we need to pit, so we're going to stretch it a couple extra laps. Hopefully it won't rain. I think even if these guys can make it to the end, we're probably just going to get a splash of gas, maybe a couple tires, and see if we can beat them that way.
They were talking on the radio, the possibility of just going right side tires only. Tony Stewart told Bono, he said, just shuffle the air pressure a little bit in that right rear, so in case I have to hustle that car over those final few laps. Alan?
A couple of pit stops under the green flag. Joey Clanton has been in.
Look at all that damage there.
A lot of damage to the right front fender there.
Clanton rejoining the chase. 1 lap down in 25th place.
I'll say that car's going to push.
And Ron Hornaday is also leaving pit road.
So that's why Clanton pitted, not because he had that fuel, because he was afraid the fender was rubbing the tire.
Well, let's see what happened. We'll ride along with them. Wow.
Oh,
what's that?
Hornaday.
That looked like it may have been a little bit intentional to me.
Alan Nicole Smith is on the dash of Clanton's trim spot car. All right, the 38 car has worked his way back to where? 7th? 6th?
Yeah. 9 seconds behind the leader. Remember, he had run in the top 5 in the early part of the race, pitted under green, then the caution came out. Caught him on the tail end of the lead lap. So he got basically a free 2-mile pass. Came back around, rejoined the tail end of the end of the lead group back in about 25th position or so, and has picked his way back toward the front. But he's another one. Didn't stop on that last caution, so he's going to need another pit stop to finish the race.
So the question now becomes, which comes first, the pit stop or the rain?
Yeah, we got a lot of questions hanging out
Yes.
here. Pit stop or rain for the leaders. Michael Waltrip and Harvick have enough fuel to get to the finish. If it doesn't rain and we go all the way to the scheduled 125 lap distance.
But Michael Waltrip right now is 18 seconds behind Tony Stewart.
Yeah, he was kind of.
Yeah, so
Look at this. That's Matt Kenseth, 17. Fourth place. Casey Kane trying to take that spot from him.
David Green's not letting Scott Riggs get too far out of the sight.
No, he isn't.
Those guys been together all day.
All year.
Yeah, all year.
7 points apart in the championship.
Yep, taking a look.
Sixth place.
A good run.
So you got a DEI engine in the 37, a Robert Yates engine in the 10.
Boy, that was a nice move. I'm sure the two's probably smoking because you got tire rub from contact made with the 27 car.
That's the fourth place driver in the championship, Ron Hornaday, and he's a lap down in 28th place.
And that's a big blow for Hornaday and his team because they really feel like they have a great chance to win this NASCAR Busch Series championship. Just about 99 points behind, but it's going to take a big hit if this thing ends the way it's running now.
All right, so it hasn't started raining yet, and we're just maybe 5 to 8 laps away from pit stops for these leaders if we don't see a caution. We'll come back to Michigan in a minute. The 2003 PGA Championship continues on TNT tomorrow. Final round coverage live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Drawing up the season's final major on the links tomorrow here on TNT. Got a lot of drama shaping up here at Michigan International Speedway. Rain closing in, fuel stops closing in. Some guys going to try and go to the finish on the fuel they already have. A little mini through the field for you to set the stage. We begin with the leaders, Pitt and Matt Yoakum.
Well, Dave Sharpin's here, the team's engineer for DEI, and Bono Mannion discussing when to come. Actually, they're going to come about 4 laps longer than they thought. Now they're going to go lap 104, trying to hold out for the rain, Marty.
Kevin Harvick in second, about 2 laps short on fuel, but they're absolutely going for it, hoping to get some caution laps if possible before the end of the race. Harvick came on the radio. He said, I think the weather is what's going to win this race.
And here come the pit stops a little sooner than we thought. Matt Kenseth gives up 4th spot for his stop.
And it will be a 4-tire stop for Matt Kenseth, a little too tight right now, giving him the 4th position. A lot of changes on this car. They make a wedge adjustment. They take a pound out of the right front, pound out of both left side tires, trying to loosen that car up once again. Same car he won Charlotte with, also finished second with us at Chicago.
Greg Biffle also in just ahead of Kenseth.
Biffle here as well, and they've had a great run from the back to the front. Remember, they spun on lap 5 and made their way back to the front. Car just a little bit snug for Biffle. They didn't make an air pressure adjustment, and they had to stop this early because they, again, could not make it on fuel, just like Matt Kenseth.
All right, so about 5 laps away from Tony
I know you're
Stewart's
working on
pit
your
stop.
fuel mileage, but keep in mind how many laps we got left here, too, as far as that right rear air pressure, bud.
Yeah, we're going to take the split out. We're going to go up that 1 pound. We're going to just do right side, so that'll tighten you up a little bit, too. Just tough.
Yeah, when he comes in and goes back out, he's going to need to stand on. He can't wait for the car to come back in. So they're trying to make adjustments on this car to where it's going to be good right now instead of making the car good on a longer run.
So both those cars, Kenseth and Biffle, have gone a lap down.
Yeah, Kenseth back in 23rd place and Biffle back to 25th. You know, really the big story of this race right now, if it doesn't rain, is the 2nd place guy, Kevin Harvick.
Here he comes. Here comes the leader.
Tony Stewart diving for pit road, so they came sooner than they were expecting to.
Good job, all the way down here.
25 laps to go. And Tony
Stewart. We're going to have to go like hell. You know, Michael's out there running.
Tony Stewart giving up a 7.5-second lead over Kevin Harvick to come in for a stop, Matty.
And at this juncture, they're going to go a two-tire change. We told you earlier about shuffling the air pressure in that right rear. Hand signals to Tony. 2 tires. They topped him off there with 1 can today.
The 5-car tightened the center, Matt. He couldn't go any further on fuel. Stayed out last time. 2 tires for Vickers, air pressure adjustment.
It's Tim Fedewa coming in behind them. So Kevin Harvick is now the leader. Remember that Harvick stopped at lap 60.
I don't know.
Boy, that's
there hasn't been a caution flag. I just can't see him running 65 laps.
Now that is
on a tank of fuel. Just can't see.
I can't either, VP.
They went back green.
I don't think he could make it on fuel, though.
There you go. Me either. I agree with that.
They went green with 62 to go.
Doing what you're doing. Let's play it out and see what happens here.
He's talking about 21 car of Harvick.
So Harvick leads. Casey Kane is second. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is third.
38 was one of the first cars to pit.
Johnny Sauter in.
By the way, I talked to Kerry Agajanian, Wally, and he said that, you know, they took their tires from Loudon and NASCAR and pounded the tires. Everything is fine. They found nothing wrong with anything.
We knew that.
But we knew that. Because they told us there's nothing wrong with it.
That's right. He wouldn't have told us that. But, well, I don't know about that.
All right, so that's Matt Kenseth getting back on the lead lap there by passing Kevin Harvick. So he's 2 miles behind Harvick in 20th place.
So Johnny Sauter in the pits just a moment ago in the Channel Lock Chevrolet. Somebody said they saw something unusual during that pit stop. Let's see what unusual is. Jackman kind of tripped. Yeah,
well,
kind of got run over.
He slid over the line, slid over the hose.
Got to back him up. Back him up, guys. Matt.
And he's okay. I think he scratched his jack and also scratched the hood of the car, but he completed the stop for Johnny Sauter.
Very good. Nice.
Brian Vickers getting a lap back from leader Kevin Harvick. Vickers now in 20th place.
Well, he said we're in good shape, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That's what he said. Mike Wallace makes the pit stop in the 4 car.
There's Butch Hilton, the crew chief, talking to Kevin Harvick. No rain so far, but boy, the sky looks dark.
What's the word? Imminent? Rain is imminent.
So Harvick has made what he says is his final pit stop. Second place, Casey Kane has to come back in. Bobby Hamilton Jr. has to come back in. He's in third. David Green, Scott Riggs, 4th and 5th. David Ruderman in 6th. They'll all have to stop again, as will Casey Mears in 7th place.
So now Harvick has backed off now. He's going to let the Casey Kane car catch him and even go by him because they figured out the 38 car can't make it, and they're going to get. I guess they're going to try it, aren't they, Marty?
The 21 will try it, VP. I don't know about 38. I have to check with Matty on that one, but they came on the radio a moment ago. Butch Hilton, the crew chief, and Kevin Harvick had this conversation. He said, "What do you want me to do?" Harvick said. He said, "Just keep doing what you're doing. I'll tell you when to put the hammer down. Just keep keeping the pace that you have right now, Matty."
Artie Westward told me that they are at least 3 or 4 laps shy of making it to the finish. But what a comeback for Casey Kane. Remember, he pitted earlier at lap 42, had loose lugs in the left front, came back in under that caution at lap 47. And guys, it is raining.
No caution yet.
And a few light drops up top, but starting to rain up top.
That's a spotter for the 21 car telling Butch Hilton it's starting to rain.
Oh, yeah, here comes some big raindrops over the top of the broadcast booth.
Coming down.
Danny Culler, the
caution is out.
Caution's out, come on.
Kevin Harvick is already past the start finish. Oh, there he comes right now. So Harvick just takes the caution. So the race is under yellow with 17 laps to go.
And here it comes.
And the fuel gamble might have been a great one for Butch Hilton, the crew chief for Kevin Harvick.
Boy, so far it looks like hero there.
Boy, he does. Wow. And look at it, rain.
That's going to be, boy, that's heavy.
So with 17 laps to go, a drowning rain is hitting this racetrack. At very least, they're going to have to stop it for a little while and see if the rain will stop and the track will dry. And ideally, they'll be able to get this thing back underway, and then we'll really have a jumbled up picture. But boy, it's going to take a few minutes to figure it out. This changes everything.
Yes, it does.
Some guys who didn't pit yet, like David Green and Scott Riggs, are hoping it pours.
Look at that.
All right, so the pace car's got the field under control, and it's raining here at Michigan. We're going to take a break here. Come back, see what happens with the weather and the rest of this race. 17 to go. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.
TNT is giving you Julia Roberts 3 nights in a row.
I'm not trying to land him. I'm just using him for sex.
Pretty Woman, 3 nights in a row, continuing tonight at 9 on TNT.
Cool.
Your favorite movie?
My favorite movie of all time, yes.
The movie that made her a star.
Yes.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah,
See,
I will. I
right
know you
there
have
on
it
the
written down.
It's right there on the script. Bringing the field down pit road here at Michigan International Speedway. 15 laps shy of the scheduled distance. A downpour has drenched this 2-mile oval, and we're going to go under the red flag. They have not canceled the rest of the race. We're just going under the red flag to wait and see what the weather does. Kevin Harvick leads. Casey Kane is second. Bobby Hamilton Jr. third. David Green fourth. And Scott Riggs is fifth. And the rest of the top 10, David Rudiman, Casey Mears, Michael Waltrip, Shane Meal, and Dave Blaney. Tony Stewart is 11th, the driver who has led 86 of the 111 laps that have been run so far. Marty, this thing might just work out yet for Butch Hilton.
Unbelievable. Taking the best shelter we can find underneath the blue tarp here in the 21 pit. You're either lucky or good. I don't know which one it is.
I'm sure it's lucky. Payday Chevy's been really good today. We just ain't had nothing for the 8, but it seems like lately the best car hasn't won these races, and we ain't won nothing yet. Sure would like to see it keep raining the rest of the day.
Was any part of your decision based on the weather, your run for fuel mileage?
Not really. We were like 3 laps off our window, and you know, the tires are making a big difference today. The speeds are picking up, and they're having a lot of drop-off as we run on. So not really. I don't think so.
Let me play devil's advocate real quick. If it does go back green for some reason, will that actually hurt you because you've run some laps here sitting there, you know, under the yellow?
Yeah, I think it will. We'll probably come and get tires if that happens and see what happens.
Obviously, the track a little wet. You would want some tires. Dave?
Well, Marty, what about the championship leader, Scott Riggs? He was running 5th, and I told you guys that he had come in, had his pit stop, and he was 2 laps short. Doug, I checked with you, and you looked like you might have been wanting to play it safe, and then the rains came.
Yeah, I mean, Nesquik Tars run real good all day today, guys. Been awesome in the pits. We were going to be right there on fuel. I mean, touch and go. And if the car was really good and we thought we had a chance to win the race and beat some of these other guys that could made it, we were probably going to stay out. With the championship battle, boy, you'd hate to run out of gas here. So, you know, we were probably going to play it safe, but we were hoping for rain, and it's here. You know, maybe it'll stay, maybe it won't. If it doesn't, we'll go back racing again, get all we can.
I heard you. I didn't hear you telling Scott to conserve, conserve, conserve. Was he trying to conserve some fuel?
Well, we talked about it early, you know, conserving right off the bat, and then as we got to running, you know, we wanted to race, and then as we saw where we were going to be, we started conserving because it wasn't really going to hurt us at that point to start conserving a little bit.
Okay, note again, guys, when this race started, the championship was only 7 points apart. Alan?
There are the championship standings as they run, with David Green in 4th and Scott Riggs in 5th on the track, so the 7-point lead goes to 2 if it finishes like this. But we've still got 15 laps to go. We're under the red for rain. NASCAR Busch Series racing from Michigan International Speedway, brought to you by Wagner Quick Touch Power Roller. Professional results, fast. Fridays, eat what you love what you eat at Fridays. Mobil 1, the official motor oil of NASCAR. And Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter of hunting, fishing, and outdoor gear. Needs you a good rain suit right now here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. A nice little front just dumped a load of water on this 2-mile racetrack, and we may not be done with it yet. Here's meteorologist Wally Dollin.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to draw a little circle. And we're in this area right there. We got this coming down this way. We've got a big front coming this way. We got some wind here, and anyway, looks like it's going to be wet.
Yes.
Very, very astute of you.
You know, this up here is one I'm worried about, because that looks to me like it hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah.
And it's got some red.
And it's got some red in it. Yeah, this is just green stuff here.
Ooh. I saw some yellow out there.
Oh, did you? Matt?
Well, Benny, the bad news for Tony Stewart, it rained shortly after pitting, but Tony, the good news, the rain stopped and the jet dryers are out.
Yeah, either way, no matter what happens, I think everybody has figured out here we've been delivering the mother load of all ice beatings, so we're just getting on with it.
This is fun, though, for both you and Junior. This has been a fun weekend.
Oh, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, Junior's a good buddy of mine, and, you know, just thankful that he asked me to come drive this thing. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's been fun running with some of the guys I haven't ran with for a while, so, you know, hopefully we'll get to finish this thing.
So do you think we're going to see you back in a Busch car again sometime, or is this just a one-off appearance?
Let's see what happens the rest of the way today.
Tony Stewart still looking for his first career Busch Series win. He's hoping that we get this track dry and he has a chance to pull it off, guys.
Let's show you how we got to this point in the race. Field of 43 went green, led by Casey Kane, the 23-year-old on the pole after the pre-race festivities. This beautiful sunny afternoon when the green flag waved. Jamie McMurray got a little too anxious on the opening start, passed about 8 or 9 cars before he got to the start-finish line, got a black flag penalty. He's now running 14th after rallying. Tony Stewart, as they complete the second lap, went to the point. Stewart has led 86 of the 110 laps that have been completed so far, cheered on by the Dirty Mo posse. First caution.
Greg Biffle just loses it off turn 4, down through the grass, down through the NASCAR sign.
I believe that was speed doors down, guys.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
They qualify as Dirty Mo posse today.
Yep. Jamie Mosley spins off turn 2, just barely backs in the wall, brings out the caution flag.
Then to lap 61. Tony Stewart, after giving up the lead to Matt Kenseth on an exchange of pit stops, retook the top spot and continued his assertion of dominance. I'll use a nicer phrase.
And on lap 65, guess what? Jamie Mosley. This time, a little bit harder contact with the outside retaining wall up in turns 3 and 4.
Finished her off with that one. Michael Waltrip topped off the fuel twice on that caution flag, along with Kevin Harvick, made a pit stop. And a few others setting themselves up for an economy run to the finish. Tony Stewart, meantime, while doing most of the leading, came in under green at lap 101. 2 tires and fuel, but shortly after he rejoined the race, big old raindrops began pelting the surface of this track, and the caution came out for the weather with Kevin Harvick out in front of the field. Will it be the winner's share of the payday today for the 21? Well, we'll see in a little while. How about it, Marty?
Very nice line, A.B. I like that line. The irony of this shot, this piece of video, should not be lost. Kevin Harvick is sitting beside Jeff Burton for a reason. How many races have you won in the rain, Jeff?
I don't know. It ain't going to be one today, that's for sure.
I know. So about 4 or 5 you won, and you're hoping some of that kind of slips over to you maybe a little bit?
We're hoping that it's going to rain again here in about 30 minutes, and then we'll be done with it. But we've been playing the fuel mileage game here, and I was telling Jeff, man, that's harder than driving around the racetrack normally, because you got to let off. I mean, I've been letting off back here, and you're used to letting off over there, and we had to make up about 3 laps. But been a good day for the payday car. I mean, car's been a top 3 car all day, and you know, we just decided to pit right there and hope that it stayed green.
You had it right on when you said, I think the weather's going to win this race. Were you keeping an eye to the sky as you came through turn 4 every time?
Yeah, I mean, I could see it was black, but you never know about that stuff. I mean, you just got to... Butch was getting mad at me. He told me I needed to stick to my game plan and just keep doing what I was doing. So it, you know, who knows what's going to happen. Knowing our luck, it'll dry up and we'll decide to stay out and everybody else will pit.
There you go. Maybe we'll get to talk to you in a few minutes.
All right, thanks.
There you go, Matty.
Casey Kane started the day out on the pole, currently second. Now, how many laps shy are you, Case?
I think we're about 4 laps shy. You know, we needed to keep going green, but it didn't. Man, we're really good on the long runs. We're pretty good early, but we got behind on the
pit stop. We had a problem there and kind of fighting our way back, and I wish the race would have just kept going, but now I think we'll have to stop and get fuel, and who knows where we'll finish now. I think there's a lot of cars that can go all the way.
Now, you're pulling double duty today because you're on your way to Knoxville, Iowa for the Knoxville Nationals tonight.
Yeah, this will set us back a little bit, but I think we'll be all right to still get there. I just want to thank Great Clips, and man, I wish the race was still going.
You got an air smoke tonight?
Yeah, as long as I don't beat him, probably. We beat him in qualifying. He told me I was finding my own way there, so I hope we beat him and find a ride on that thing anyways.
Well, if you can stay out there and stay ahead of Tony Stewart, you may have trouble going to Knoxville tonight. Dave?
Well, Matt, I'm sitting with the two leading championship contenders. I didn't split them up here. You know, they're not feuding or anything. They gave me the middle spot because it was wet. Scott Riggs, we talked with Doug Randolph, your crew chief. He said, thought like you might need to play it conservative, but you did save some fuel at the beginning. Do you feel in your heart you guys could have gone to the end, or you feel like you would have needed a pit?
I think it would have been close. Right there about, I guess, 10 laps before it started to rain, I was starting to conserve fuel pretty good. Part throttling down the straightaways and getting out the gas early and trying to cut off as much space down the front stretch as I could. And, yeah, I don't know. Everybody's doing a good job on this quick forward. We unloaded here and really weren't where we needed to be. Made a lot of changes. Didn't qualify quite where we needed to. Really figured out which direction we needed to go in the last part of happy hour. It seems to be our scenario every week. And the car took off on the first set of tires at the beginning of the race. Come in, made a pit stop, got me out second. Car was a little free, lost some positions, drove back up there, and then right as the car really started to come back to me and get really good to me, we came in another time, the last caution, and pitted. And when we pitted that time, this set of tires is just a lot tighter. So we've fallen back a little bit.
All right, now listen up now, because David Green is going to tell us no lies here, and I'm going to ask him, no lies, David. Do you think he can go to the end?
I'm going to do whatever Scott does. I heard that strategy. That sounded good.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I was backing off a little bit there, but we was trying to save a little bit. But, man, I've been so impressed again with my team and my car. And
Jason listened to that part, by the way, out there, your crew chief, so he wanted to know what you were going to say.
Well, they've done a great job again. You know, we kind of changed our program a little bit this week. Dale Earnhardt incorporated, loaned us a motor this week to see how we like it, and car's been absolutely wonderful, the Timberwolf Pontiac has. So it's been a great day for us here at Michigan, and I don't know what's going to happen here with the weather, but I'll do what they say do, and hopefully we can keep Scott behind us. It's been a great battle. Like he said, I think our cars have magnets, but that's okay. We enjoy racing each other.
Well, and Marty, we showed them the points a little bit earlier in this championship. Just 2 between them if they stopped right now.
Dave, 1 year ago they were chasing this man, Greg Biffle. Now let's start with your day chronologically. Lap 5. Did you spin just to make it more interesting so you could come up through the field just to impress everyone?
Yeah, I started at the back, so I had passed probably half the field in 5 laps, and car was really good. You know, I was just stuck to the bottom. The car's working really good on the bottom, the Kleenex Meyer car, and I just decided to go up top. There's a lap car in the way there, and so I just eased up the hill on 4 coming off the corner, and just no grip up there. My car was so free, and it just came around on me quick. You know, I had hardly any time to gather back up, but you know, it was a good spot for it. Didn't hit anything, and you know, we tightened the car up, got some tires on it, and we're running there, you know, top 5, and unfortunately pitted right before this rain, so we're back at 21st.
And when you talk to Ed Evans and Joe Nemechek and hire a team meteorologist, sound good to you?
Yeah, it does. It kind of sucks that we just pitted, but you know, the car's running good. The guys are doing a great job, and it just, you know, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it don't.
If somehow we do get this track dry and go back to green, how much hay can you make from 21st back there? Because the car has done it, twice now, gone from the back to the front today.
I think we're clearly in a window to get in the top 10. What will have to happen is obviously these guys are going to have to pit when we get back going, so we'll be on the tail end of the lead lap, and then if we could get a caution flag, that'll put us back in the hunt, and you know, we'll get us back up in there.
And for guys like Biffle, the rain has stopped. Good news for him, not good news for Harvick. Matt?
Well, a combo platter from Joe Nemechek's stable. First off, what a great job this guy has done for you all weekend.
David's done an excellent job. You know, the Hills Brothers Chevy's they unloaded good. You know, they come up here and tested. That's right. I told him once, I come up here and I showed him how to get around Michigan, and then he comes back and kills me. So he's doing a great job. You know, just everybody, Hills Brothers, Cell One, the Kleenex car, everybody's running really good, and we needed to go back green. I think he can get up there. I don't know if he's got anything for Stewart, but he can get to the front.
Now, what were you saying about your car early on?
It was a little scary, but Joe's car, Joe said his car was real scary. So and when he says it's scary, it's really scary, you know. So, but it's gotten a lot better. Brian Patty and the guys have just been adjusting on it, and you know, and Joe came up here and helped me test, and it taught me a lot. Cut way down on the learning curve, and you know, and everybody. I mean, everybody from Kleenex, Cell One, Hills Brothers Coffee, all those people have just been super to me. And this, you know, this is our final 7 races here. So.
And it was a unique situation. You got into that whole scenario.
It was. I mean, you know, Joe gave me the opportunity to go test with him some, and then the Hills Brothers Coffee Break of a Lifetime deal came together. Gave me a shot to run 5 races, then Joe let me run another 2 races with Cell One, and I've been living the dream, and it's great. I just hate to see it end so soon right now, but hopefully we can get something worked out next year for full time.
Where do you stand fuel-wise?
Brian says we can't make it, so evidently we can't. I said, are you really sure? And when he doesn't say anything on the radio back, it means he's really sure. So.
Well, they're going to have to come back in. Now, owner Joe Nemechek, young, talented driver here. What about next year? Are you going to get him a full-time ride?
Oh, that's the plans right now. You know, we're really close on getting stuff done, and as soon as it's done, believe me, you guys will be the first ones to know. But we want him in the car full-time next year, and you know, I think Cell One's going to be back full-time with us next year, not full-time, but part-time schedule with me next year. We got a lot of things working right now, and just the T's and the I's haven't been crossed and dotted, but we're very, very close. I got to say hello to Andrew and the kids back at home. We're having fun today.
Now, what about the car number? Maybe 00? It has some great history.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, I was down at the old Ruderman shop in Zephyr Hills a month ago, and you look at all the pictures on the wall. It's just incredible. You know, that 00 goes back a long ways. I'm gonna have to talk to Brian, see if he can make it on gas. It'd be worth it today, huh?
Now, for some folks at home who may not have a big education as far as modified racing goes, his father, Buzzy, a Hall of Fame driver. His car is actually in a Hall of Fame up in New York, and a legend up in the short track race, and it would certainly be neat to see the 00 back out. Dave?
Well, Matty's standing by with Michael Waltrip. His car sitting in 8th position quietly on pit road right now. Michael, between rain or getting this thing started again, I guess you'd probably like to see it get going again.
Yeah, we would like to have seen the rain have never come, because we were set to go to the finish, and we don't think anyone ahead of us could have made it. We might have been fooled by the 21. I'm getting mixed reports about his situation, but Aaron's Dream Machine was great today. Ken Butler, Charlie Automick, all the people in Atlanta should be real proud of their car. You know, it looked a little good early in the going there with the 2 DEI cars running 1-2, and not to be so far. Maybe the rain will stop and the track will dry and we can race some more.
How did you feel about your car just in terms of pure raceability, not on, you know, strategy or anything else?
Well, we ran down Tony after he got a pretty big lead on us when they, you know, before the first caution. So then we improved the car tremendously under the pit stop. It was going to be right for the long run, and then we pitted, put some gas in it, and we needed to save a lap or two, and so I was in the back, so we just kind of cruised. But we were in good shape. I can't emphasize that quite enough, I don't think. But, you know, we just didn't need this little shower. We'll see what happens. We're also kind of in a catch-22 now, what to do, whether to take tires or pit or stay out because of what the guys around us will do. So I just kind of bail out in these situations and tell Bobby Kennedy that's why he makes the big bucks, make a decision, and I'll do whatever he says.
His paycheck is based on huge decisions like this, isn't it?
It is. It's based on the fact that he's built Michael Waltrip Racing into a really first-class race team. I'm real proud of Bobby. All the people that work for us just do a super job. And when we come to the racetrack each week, our little team out of Charles Ford, North Carolina, is one of the ones that you're going to have to beat, whether it's outrun them, out fuel mileage them, out strategy them, or what the situation is. Bobby and those guys are on top of it. Real proud of them. I want to thank them, Allied Truck Sales, all the people that make it possible for us to race our little Busch car. We do this for the fun of it. Buffy likes it because it's out behind our house, you know. Daddy don't go too far so he can watch the baby. And we just enjoy Busch racing a bunch, and I appreciate Aaron's letting us be a part of it.
You know, Alan, I think that is one fun thing to watch about these guys, the Charles Ford gang. When they're here, they really are having fun. They have a good time with this guy, and the whole team seems to enjoy Busch Series racing with the little 99 car.
And Michael's right. They have built that team into a weekly contender. Every time they show up, they're a threat to win. We're not done yet here on TNT. Coming up next, coverage of Winston Cup Happy Hour from earlier today. Look in on your favorite drivers' final preparations for tomorrow's 400-miler.
And it didn't rain during Happy Hour. No. We can guarantee you that.
And tomorrow we start with Discover Card Countdown to Green at 1:30 Eastern Time as we get set for NASCAR Winston Cup Racing from Michigan. Well, that's what the horizon looks like. They're trying to dry the track so we can finish up the final 15 laps of this race. See if we can determine a winner on the track instead of having the race be rain shortened.
And this really does change everything. I mean, like Michael was saying, it really takes the air out of your sails, because now you may as well come in and put fresh tires on, because you're racing guys that have better tires and are set up better.
Yeah, you know, Tony Stewart's just been on the pit road. He's back in 11th position. He's going to come take tires and have those 4 freshmen to make a charge through if this thing gets going again.
Do they have tires? I guess they have tires left.
Yeah, sure do.
Yeah.
What about him, Marty?
Well, Casey Mears has had a pretty sporty little race car today. What's your fuel situation first off?
I think we're good right now. We came in and topped off when Michael did, and worked out really good for us. We need to make a change anyway. The car wasn't real good at the beginning. We were really tight. And but I mean, now we're pretty good, and it's getting tighter and tighter. But I think with this rain and the track cooling off, it'll probably help us a lot. But the Tylenol car's running really good. I gotta say that a little bit better. I haven't said it a lot.
You gotta work on that.
That's right. But we're doing good. The car's really good, and you know, hopefully it frees us up with the track cooling off like this, and you know, hopefully we'll go up to the front.
You were just talking to Patrick Donahue, your crew chief there. What is the strategy? Do you stay out and risk it with those tires, or do you come in and put on new tires if we do go back green here?
Oh, we'll definitely stay out. I mean, there's no doubt in our mind. I mean, we can make it on fuel, and you know, the guys that are going to come in, if it stays under green, if there's no more cautions, you know, they're going to be way back there. So I mean, you just got to take a chance and stay out. I think it'll be fine.
How much has this Busch Series racing helped you on Sunday?
It helps a ton. It helps a ton. You know, I mean, just you know, sometimes the setups correlate, sometimes they don't. But the big thing is getting seat time on the track. I mean, this place has so many different lines and so many different grooves, and the cars change so much from the beginning to the end. And you can experiment a lot. You can run the bottom, you can run the top, and to find out, you know, where the best places are before you even go into the Cup races is definitely a big help. And I mean, all the way around with making pit stops, with making adjustments on the car, with telling the guys what kind of adjustments I need to make on the car and things like that. It's been helping a lot.
I've heard some conflicting stories. Will you be in this car more this year, and how many races will you run?
Well, we're definitely going to run more races, and it's still kind of up in the air. You know, that's why we can't give you a definite answer. But, you know, we're going to run here, we're going to run Bristol, and we'd like to run the rest of the companion races if we can. But that's not 100% yet.
Kind of a decision he came to between he and his crew chief, Jimmy Elledge, on the Winston Cup side. Just running these Saturday races certainly helps on Sunday. Matt?
Bobby Hamilton Jr. currently in the 3rd position, so you have to come back in. So you're hoping that the track doesn't get dry.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to do a dance myself, get the rain going. But we've been, man, loose all day long. It's not even the same racetrack up top. I went and talked to Jeff Burton, and because we ran the high side all day yesterday, and, man, I hadn't turned left, I don't think, yet. And but, you know, if it does get back out, we'll take whatever. You know, we didn't need this for the points. We got us a great spot right now, and so we'll just take and come in, get us probably 4 or 2, and put us 2 or 3 seconds of gas in and go after, try to hustle that thing, try to get back top 10.
Now, the last few weeks, you've lost about 151 points, so this run is good medicine for this team.
It is. I mean, it's just been bad luck. I mean, the deal with the motor stuff and the deal with the Pikes Peak, I mean, we just didn't catch on something and let it go, and we're still the same team we were, and it shows today. We started 16th and battled our way up to where we at. It ain't no fluke where we're at. So the team's still capable of winning races, and you're going to see it soon. I mean, we just got to get everything worked back in our favor, and everything goes in circles. You know, remember we were the hottest thing for 2 weeks. Now they said we lost 100-something points. So we just keep battling and get all, you know, the guys are still pumped up, and I still got that man next to you, Harold. He's keeping me pumped up. We're going to win some more races.
Now, we were talking about the 8 car. How did you describe it on the racetrack?
Like we were at Chicago. It was, I mean, it's pretty cool to watch. He just zings that thing off in there, and next thing you know, you don't even see him no more. And you know, you kind of wish it go back. So, I mean, the way he dominated, they kind of deserve it. So, I mean, I kind of want it to rain, but if we got to come back in, I hope them guys get excited work for it.
Now, Harold Holley, how many caution flag laps do you need to where you are good to go? Or we don't have enough caution flags left to get you there?
4 caution flags, I believe, would get us. Yeah.
Well, that's welcome news to his driver, because he wants to try to race and come home with a good top 5 finish. His last top 5 finish, Dave, his win in Chicago.
Well, Matt Kenseth has been on pit road, off pit road just a few laps ago, so he can go to the end. Matt, but you were kind of wondering something. Maybe ask Wally your question. You asked me. Oh, I felt it drop in my head.
I was just wondering if it was going to rain again.
Wally's our big meteorologist today, so
I think so. I want to say yes.
Okay, he wants to say yes. So given that, you're not in good shape here, are you?
Oh, not really. I probably messed this thing up. We should have pitted, when everybody else did, but we were running second. The leader didn't pit, and I thought we were way far away from our window. But as I should know, the way all these races have been going the last 2 months, that it doesn't matter if you're in your window or not. You need to pit and hope for cautions and hope it rains or whatever so you can stay out, I guess, is a way to do it these days. But we wanted to come and get tires and try to race these guys, and got tires here. We have a good car. We don't have a good enough car to win, but I think we have a top 3 or 4 cars. So hopefully go back to green and we can make up some of this deficit.
Okay, so you haven't felt all day like the only way that you could win today would have been that strategy game.
I don't know about that, but I just stayed with Stewart. I was going to stay with the leaders. I didn't think everybody would have pitted on that caution. I thought everybody was too far away from their window, but I guess I was wrong. So we should have pitted there. But Tony Stewart's got everybody covered today. I probably should have done the opposite of what he did because that's the only way anybody was going to beat him today.
Let me ask you a question. I talked with Scott Riggs a little while ago. He's got this thing called a championship lead right now, like you do in Winston Cup. And they were going to have to sort of play it safe so that they didn't lose ground in that, which is a little bit closer than what you're doing. But how hard is it to race that way when you know that instead of trying to win the thing, you've got to try to strategize your way not to lose points?
I don't know, but these races lately are kind of a pain. It's not the way we used to race, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just because the competition's so close. NASCAR's got these cars all so close like they want, so the competition is so close, so that makes it tough to pass. And also the tires are so good they don't drop off much. So it's just it's a pain to try to call a race and to try to just get your car in front. The fastest car don't win these races very often anymore, which is kind of a shame. The 8's the class of the field, and he's got the fastest car, and I feel like he should probably win the race. But the way these races go anymore, it's just a different kind of racing. It used to be we'd run 30 laps, everybody come down pit road and get 4 tires, and you'd race them again, and the guy with the best handling car would be there at the end. And now it's more about trying to figure out how to get your car in front in case you get a bunch of cautions or in case it rains or who gets the best gas mileage. So it's pretty tough to figure out.
All right, Wally, one more time, look at your radar for me there. It's all cleared up. No more green, right? Matt can race.
I don't have radar in front of me. I'm just looking at these clouds and the lightning all around.
He doesn't have radar. He's just looking at the clouds. So what's your assessment? Probably.
I'm saying it's coming.
Okay. We're saying some rain here.
If you had told me it was going to rain, I would have pitted.
He should have told you earlier. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay. Wally, next time radio to Matt a little bit earlier.
Well, we'll talk to him next race or two on the radio. So we can do that.
That would have been a good time.
We'll work out the strategy next time ahead of time. Help him out a little bit more. Marty Snyder, who have you got?
I have found Ron Hornaday, and let's ask him about the little tip he had on the track with a 27 car. What was that about, Ron? Wally said it looked awfully intentional.
Wally needed to be inside. I don't know. It's one of the things. I went to get underneath him lap before, and he kind of blocked, come down on me. And, he actually did a face-safe move. But going down the back straight, I was just trying to move up against him so I could get the draft coming off the wall. And I don't know if he came up or whatever, but it ripped the valve stem out real quick, and it sucked us together real fast. So might have been my fault, but I don't know. I just watched it at Colorado when he wrecked the 59 car, trying to drive in the wall, and I don't want to be in that position. So it's just a hard day on us. The AC Dunkel car, we've got it working a lot better. We got going to the front and cut a tire, but it happens.
We'll give Wally the benefit of the doubt on that one then. Now let's talk about your race car. Did that first stop, you stopped so early, did that kind of put you guys out of the game, Ron?
No, we had to. We were going to go a lap down no matter what. Matter of fact, we did go a lap down, and we got it back. Thank God for Tony. But no, we just made some adjustments on the AC Dunkel car, and it's getting better. It's just we missed a little bit from what Kevin's got under his car, and we weren't good enough. So we keep freeing it up, and it's got better. And then that incident happened. So we're out of the game, but we'll have fun, try to come out with a good finish until we can go for the championship.
And that's right. They're still fighting to win this NASCAR Busch Series championship, and his teammate, may win this race after all. Matt?
Well, they say the Busch Series is a learning experience, and for you learned Ron Hornaday's secret past 9 cars coming to a restart, but it wasn't the restart, it was a drop of the green, so you learned that rule today.
Yeah, I really didn't know that. I always thought you could pass to the right, but apparently you can't. So we had to make a stop and go, but...
See, some guys say you don't learn much in Busch that can carry over the Cup, but you did today.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that it happened, but I'd rather have it happen today than tomorrow. I knew the rule. I wasn't using my head, and I'm going to blame my spotter. It wasn't my fault. I'm going to blame him. So
that's what Wally always does.
He should have reminded me that when I passed the first row, but that's the way it goes. I'm not blaming him.
You should hear what Wally does to his spotter when he runs Busch.
It's bad, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrible.
A lot of beeps.
He has his own personal psychologist.
Well, he has issues then.
But Wally has the money, he can afford it. But let's talk about tomorrow's race as well. You get a very fast race car in the final practice session.
Yeah, really excited about tomorrow. I think we start 25th or 30th, somewhere in there, but really that hasn't seemed to matter for us. At Indy and a few other races, we've been able to get up to the top 2 or 3 by the first caution flag or first set of green flag stops. So really, I mean, I gotta tell you, I can't sleep on Saturday nights when my car is that good, and I haven't been able to sleep the last couple of nights. So just so excited. It's so much fun when your car's fast.
And how are you going to sleep tonight? Not at all?
I don't know. They're having a clam bake or something tonight, so I'm going to go eat a lot and fill my stomach up, and hopefully I'll sleep better.
Now, you're not going to put your helmet like in the air conditioner again, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to put that little fan I had earlier in my motorhome and put the helmet on it. Problem was last night, we didn't know what the smell was. It was the helmet from all the sweat and everything that was inside of it. So maybe I'll, I don't know, set it outside or something like that. Seattle will get mad at me if I leave it in there again.
Well, that's what Robin says about Wally's helmets, too. They have to stay out in the garage because they smell a whole lot, too.
I'm not going to rip on Wally because Wally's got the mic.
Dave? Oh, standing by with Stacy Compton here. You know, we were jammering on here about riding, and not bicycle riding, but, you know, riding Harleys, things like that. You spent a lot of time on your off weekend out in Sturgis, South Dakota, didn't you?
We did. We had a good time. It was about 8 or 10 of us went out there. Most everybody from the racing world, some friends from back home. We had a good time. There's a lot of riding out there. We've seen a lot of sights, and it was a lot of fun. We got to vacate a little bit.
Now, when you think of Mount Rushmore, did you think of Wally, Benny, Alan, and maybe Bill?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, a couple of them actually looked like Benny, you know, if you think about it. But it was a crazy horse. I mean,
I'm not sure which one you want to go with there.
I'm not sure which one we want to go with.
Let's talk about your car right here. If it had stayed green there, you'd have been in much better shape than if you got in rain, right?
That's sort of typical of the way our years went so far this year. We elected to come in and top off a little while ago, and we could have made it all the way. And about 4 or 5 more laps, a lot of the guys would have started peeling off. We knew we could make it all the way, and I'd be curious to see what happens when this thing goes back to green. I know it's a lot of guys talking about not pitting. You know, the guys in our position right now, we're certainly going to pit. We don't have anything to lose. So we've been loose all day and just never have been able to get the car like we needed it. But we're still going to end up with a good day either way.
All right, back to Roosevelt, Lincoln, and Washington.
What's with the pick on Wally?
Well, I don't know. I mean, and my mic was closed, so I couldn't say anything.
Have you been abusing people all weekend and they feel need for retribution?
I abuse people every weekend. I don't know what's different about today.
Oh, okay. We are under the red flag for rain here at Michigan with 15 laps to go. In the NASCAR Busch Series 250-miler, Kevin Harvick hoping for more bad weather. See this group of people right here along the inside pit fence at Michigan?
Got a happy group?
They're really, really happy right now.
Because that's the Harvick crew?
That's the happy Harvick crew, and it started raining again. They haven't called the race yet, but he's hoping they do, because if they do, he wins. If we go back racing, who knows what happens.
Well, there's
a bunch of
Scott Riggs in there.
Yeah, he's hoping.
All right, but at the moment, we are still in a holding pattern here, although the rain showers have started falling again. Marty.
Well, I think this is a good indication in the garage area. Richard Childress with a payday umbrella, RC. You want to do your rain dance for us, BP? Want to see the rain dance?
Do that. Like that. He'd probably do it different, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't think Wally would do a very good one. He'd have the white man's everybody.
Here we go again. Yeah, he could do pretty good. I've seen him dance around a couple of times on some questions.
Oh, very nice, RC. Talk about your guys and just the ebb and flow of this game. I mean, you guys are on it right now, Winston Cup and Busch.
Yeah, you know, everybody's working hard. Kevin's doing good. Man, the 8 car today, Dale Jr. as owner, I keep kidding him about being owner. They've really put together the car. They had the car to beat today, and if we win because of the rain, because they did have the best car. But Kevin was coming. His car was real good, and I'm just hoping it rains it out. We don't have to make that decision. Do you pit? Do you not pit? Do you take 4 tires, 2 tires? So thank you, Lord.
Very nice of you. And let's talk about this Busch Series team. I know you guys have really focused on this. Kevin probably in this car full-time next year. Is this a team that, you know, you're trying to win the championship with this year and the owner's points with?
Yeah, we're trying to win that championship. Championships are really hard to win, but to win it with 2 drivers, Johnny Sauter's done us a great job, would even be more of a feat. But, you know, running the payday car, we got a great sponsor, and Kevin's doing a great job with it. So all we can do is do our best this year and come out next year. We're going to have some surprises for everyone, and I think it's going to be pretty neat.
Those pelts on the umbrella sound a little harder, RC.
Feel it. Sweet.
All right, keep dancing for us. There you go. He's going to dance until this thing's called.
You know, it's been amazing to me how important it seems to be to Richard Childress to try and be the top owner in the NASCAR Busch Series this year. There are two separate point standings kept.
Trophies given.
The driver's points and the owner's points.
That's right.
They base a lot of the provisionals and things on those owner's points, but the champion is the driver.
That's the Busch Series champion.
Right. But Richard is intent on being the #1 owner in this series at season's end. His team talks about it constantly. They want this 21 car, even between the two drivers, to come out on top of those owner's points at the end of the year.
In a perfect world, Hornaday would be the driver champion, and the 21 car would be the owner champion. But Hornaday took a big lick today. Currently, he's running back in the 28th position.
Yeah. So for the moment, it is still raining here at Michigan International Speedway. And here are the drivers as they took the caution flag coming to the rain. Or the caution flag caused by the rain. Kevin Harvick, Casey Kane, Bobby Hamilton Jr., David Green, and Scott Riggs. Of course, Green and Riggs, the top two in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship. And the word has just come in. The race is over.
All right.
Kevin Harvick has won. For Kevin Harvick, his third win of 2003 in 9 starts in this 21 car this year. First Michigan win in his third Busch Series try. 9th different winner in 12 races at this track. That's Butch Hilton, the crew chief, on the left with his back to you, headed for victory lane. And Dave, you've got the winner.
Yeah, and now let me do this here. Give me that. I'll hold that for you, sir. He was holding that for me for like 5 minutes, but I guess it was a good luck charm because you're the winner at Michigan. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, we tried to play our strategy out there at the end, and Tony probably had the best car today. But, man, we've given a lot of these things away, having the best car and getting beat on fuel mileage through the 4 or 5 years that we've run Busch cars. So this is great for RCR and Payday and Snap-on and Sylvania and everybody who helps us on the Payday car. It's really cool to get one given to you kind of in the rain.
Won it in the wet today, Marty.
And Dave, Richard Childress says finally it's official now, RC, you can stop dancing.
Well, I know, but man, I tell you, I've never felt rain feel better before. We had a lot of rain in North Carolina lately, and it's beat on my grapes pretty hard, but this is the sweetest we've had.
All right, he'll squash some grapes later on. He said he wanted this trophy because there's 2 big bears on it for the Cabela's 250. That's why he wanted this trophy.
Yeah, Richard Childress is a big outdoorsman and a big hunter, and the trophy for this race weighs 150 pounds. It's a replica of the wrestling bears that are outside the Cabela store location not far from here, and it's made by the same company that made the Salt Lake City Olympic medals. It's a pretty
It's a
unique
beautiful
deal.
trophy. Yeah, we saw it last night at the Boy Scout dinner. It's a beautiful trophy.
Yeah. All right, we'll show you the final results when we come back from this commercial break. Kevin Harvick, your winner in the NASCAR Busch Series race at Michigan today. You know, these races are so hard to win. You'll take them any way you can get them, even when it's in the rain and you're going to do your victory pictures under umbrellas.
And be thrilled, as all these guys were.
Just can't do the burnout, man.
No, that's right.
Save a right rear fender for Richard.
That's right.
Like Harvick did at Indy. Kevin Harvick, your winner here today in the Cabela's 250 as we check the final results today. The race stopped after 110 of the scheduled 125 laps due to weather.
A bunch of those guys up there are happy about this rain because they wouldn't have been there. This thing would have went green the rest of the way.
And you look at the top 10, you don't see Tony Stewart. Where's Tony Stewart? There he is in 11th position after dominating the race today. Finishes 11th.
Stopped with what would eventually be 9 laps to go for his final fuel run, and then the weather closed in and it didn't work out. See Ron Hornaday, only one of the NASCAR Busch Series contenders for the championship to really have a bad day. Talked with him earlier, finished 28th. Justin Labonte, welcome back to the NASCAR Busch Series. That team hoping for a sponsorship deal that they're working on to come through so he can come back and race next year.
And Justin is off to Caraway Speedway tonight, where he's leading the point system.
Yep, one of the local NASCAR tracks. Final fuel, only 4 drivers failed to finish in this one. Very low attrition rate today here at Michigan on a track that's so tough on power plants.
And there you see 2 points between Scott Riggs, David Green for the series championship. Jason Keller almost 100 back, but Hornaday now 134 back.
So that's the way things stack up today for the NASCAR Busch Series here at Michigan International Speedway. But we're not done. Earlier today, they ran NASCAR Winston Cup Happy Hour, and we'll show it to you next here on TNT. The sun was shining, Ben. And we'll talk with all of your favorites from the NASCAR Winston Cup Series and set the stage for tomorrow's race. So Kevin Harvick has won today's Cabela's 250 for the NASCAR Busch Series. A race stopped just shy of its scheduled distance when Mother Nature intervened and Richard Childress's rain dance paid off.